Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor in Paradise, a guy's review. September 9th, 2021, the day everybody started apologizing. We just had Brendan Moraes with his apology to Natasha and anyone he's triggered by leaving her on the back burner while he waited for his relationship to show up on the beaches of paradise. And now, because of that, there's some fallout that happened between Conran and Alana. Now, Conran and Alana had not dated before meeting on Paradise, but they did meet before Paradise, much like Conran had met Jessenia before. Of course, Jessenia was dating Ivan, left Ivan for Chris. Now, Chris left Jessenia for Alana. My brain is exploding. The problem that happened was Chris didn't have the hard, pun intended, conversation with Jessenia before he made out with Alana. That was the one thing he did wrong. Because on Paradise, you're supposed to date multiple people and see what stands the test of time. Spoiler, not much does. Some will this year, though. We'll have to see how it all ends. Next episode is Tuesday. No Monday night episodes for the rest of the summer. Tuesday nights, I think there's 4 episodes left, something like that. All right, so Chris just released a statement, and we're going to read that. We'll get into it, and we'll see what Alana has to say. A lot of people coming to their defense. A lot of people feel like they were bullied off of the beach. I personally don't call it bullying because to me, and to most definitions, bullying is like a repeated effort to harass, intimidate someone from either your position of power or, at the workplace or in peer settings, dominating someone over time, over and over. Whereas what we saw was a bunch of people ganging up on. Not to say one's better or worse than the other. Let's just call it what it is. Not everyone's a bully. Were they ganged up on? Yeah. Were tensions high? We'll get into the podcast where Becca explains, yeah, tensions were high. Everyone thought Piper and Brendan were there for the wrong reasons. And then everyone saw Chris and Alana and they were like, you know what I mean? Mari took the cake out of the fire and threw it back in the fire. That's how pissed everyone was. And Riley's like, not again. All right, so we'll get into it. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Got a great content coming for you tomorrow. I'm heading to New York City tonight, so I've got some shows, and then Tasha's got Fashion Week. Make sure to follow us both on Instagram. Tasha's at Tasha Courtney, and I am at D Neals, and you will see our New York City exploits. I'll be doing some shows. Word has it there'll be some Bachelor alumni coming out. I know the shows on Sunday are going to be slam-packed, but if anyone wants to come, Friday I'll be performing on a rooftop, one of the trendy, cool Brooklyn shows at 10 p.m. Sunday, 5:30 p.m. East Village, and then 8 p.m. in Brooklyn. So if you live in the borough of Brooklyn, you can come see some comedy. And of course, East Village, New York City, that show's going to be jam-packed. All right, let's get into it all. Oh, last but not least, our new vlog is up on Tasha's YouTube channel. If you want to check out the resorts we stayed at in Belize, ton of fun, drone shots, 4K video, zip lining, everything you could do. We did that over there. You can see Linen Shirt Dave live his life. So that's on Tasha's YouTube channel, Tasha Courtney. Go find it. All right, let's get into it. Here's Chris's apology, all right? Thank you for letting me amuse myself there with some self-promotion. Oh, that's right. I am here for the wrong reasons. Finally watched the episode, and I feel there are a few things that need to be said. First and foremost, I take complete accountability for my blatant disrespect towards Jessenia and handling the situation poorly. I did reach out to Jessenia to apologize after getting home, and I would like to reiterate my sincerest apologies to her now. My past behavior is not a reflection of who I am or who I want to be, and it was never my intention to maliciously or purposefully hurt anyone on the show. I've been doing work privately to work through my relationship and communication skills. I'm an awful communicator, and I'm an extremely non-confrontational person. It's something I've needed to fix, and I'm glad it's been brought to light. I entered Paradise with integrity. I was by no means in a relationship prior to the show. Nobody in the San Diego crew was in a relationship beforehand. I hung out with both Alana and Jessenia in a group setting. I met both of them and had the same pre-show relationship prior to Paradise. Flirty and excited to potentially see them on Paradise. I am so sorry Alana got mixed up in all of it, and I beg all of you to stop attacking and harassing her. She doesn't deserve the hate she's receiving, and the death threats need to stop. The hateful messages I'm receiving aren't fun, and the way I was attacked and pushed out of Paradise sucked. It reminded me of getting ganged up on in high school by the cool kids. I understand I was low-hanging fruit since I'm not a fan favorite, but it also takes a huge level of disrespect for grown men to shut a woman down when she's trying to use her voice. You two know she deserves an apology. We cannot have a culture where we silence women on the show. I believe he's speaking to Riley and Grocery Store Joe there, although I could be mistaken. All in all, I was not in a relationship prior to the show. I arrived single and left single. Don't compare me to Brendan and Piper because it is not the same. I was disrespectful to Jessenia and should have carried myself better. I am sorry for my actions, but I do not regret following my heart on the show. And that was our breaking news update from Chris Conran. Listen, I'm sure he's getting a lot of love online for a good apology. And, a lot of people will say this one's better than Brendan. Usually the one with the most words is. Usually the one that explains himself. He did a good job of showing empathy, saying, hey, I'm not a fan favorite. I felt like I was ganged up on. I did something wrong. He started and ended his apology saying that he did something wrong. So he did the old apology sandwich, which is good. This is what you should do. Take notes. I went there. I messed up. I'm trying to work through it. I apologize. Listen, he doesn't owe it to me or any of you guys to tell us that he apologized to Jessenia in person. I'm assuming Brendan didn't do that with Natasha. Maybe he did. We don't know. We don't know, folks. But in this scenario, as we do compare the apologies, I'm sure people are already leaving comments before the video's over saying, oh my gosh, this is way better. We love him. Ganged up on, good word. I don't think he used the word bully. I didn't catch that. But ganged up on, I think that would be the proper way to describe what we saw. As far as silencing women, this, I would say, is not necessarily his battle to fight here in his apology. Now, we could rewatch the tape. What happened was, they're arguing with Chris. They pulled Chris aside to essentially confront him, right? And then Alana, she's in the back drinking a daiquiri, and she goes, do you guys want to hear what I have to say? And everyone goes, no. Is that silencing women? Oh, I guess technically they told her we don't want to hear from you. But I think it was more, it's like, hey, we're dealing with Chris Conran right now. He's the one who decided to, I don't want to say cheat on, but not communicate with Jessenia that he was going to pursue other relationships. Do we call that cheating? Maybe in the Bachelor in Paradise terms. I think what we need here, and I might be the first to ever propose this, is a elected Bachelor elder set of officials known as the Bachelor Supreme Court. BSC, Bachelor Supreme Court. I think we need Bachelor Supreme Court because we have a problem as a society, and this goes with all different groups across society with the internet, where we have too many pitchforks and not enough common sense. Too many pitchforks and tiki torches and going, I'm so angry. We just get so upset. Now, the anger that we watched on the beach happened before Bachelor Nation could even watch. So clearly, Chris has a point here that he goes, I'm not a fan favorite. They didn't love me. They didn't respect me. I was the weakest in the herd, so they took me out. And that's what bullies do. I just don't think this is a bully situation because it was a one-time thing. Could it have been a bullying situation if he stayed on the beach? You're dang right it could have been, but he got out of there. But that's what the gang does. They gang up on you and they take out the weakest link. And he was, in this case, the weakest link. Goodbye. And he left. And unfortunately for Alana, she's getting a lot of hate for it. She didn't do much wrong. The producers treat, now pardon the connection here, right? But the producers treat the incoming contestants like they are bulls preparing for the bull the bull race, right? What's it called? What's the PBR, professional bull riding? So the bulls but PETA's not going to like this, but before they let the bulls out of the cage, they're cattle prodding them, they're slapping them on the butt, they're reading them motivational, they're calling them this and that, and then they're poking, they're giving them wet willies. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing it all. And then they open the thing, and then the bulls go crazy, and they try to knock off someone. That's what they do to the contestants. They go, Demi, you're a badass. You know what? Go in there, tell them who's and then you walk down the thing. And then it's like in the episode of Next, remember MTV where they come out of the bus and like, I'm Demi. I'm 26 and I don't stop, whatever. And so that's what Alana did. She came out going, I know who I'm here for. She had her talking points. Maybe she was the type, I'm sure they get extreme anxiety. They're going on a TV show and they've been coached on what to say and what to do. And then you're here for the right reasons. You're here for Chris. You don't care if he's with someone else. Go in there, get it. They give her a slap on the butt and then she goes out there and does it. And then we're mad at her for that. Listen, we can't watch the show and also be mad at the product that we helped build. We helped build it. All right, let's read what you guys think about all this. Sort by best. That means we'll get the most ridiculous takes first, usually that generate the most content. Here we go. Let's go here. Glad he mentioned that he was an easy target being picked on by the popular kids, because I'm still pissed at that. I would have been fine with it had it not been for the blatant hypocrisy shown in favor of Brendan and Piper. It's a popularity game, and what happened with Chris was literally them bullying the weakest link. How Joe and Ivan could sit with Natasha squirming and then have so much to say to Chris is still confusing me. It's hard to compare the timelines with Natasha because with the editing, I think there was two different things happening at the same time. It's hard to compare that. In all seriousness, the second sentence of his apology is why people have a problem with Brendan's apology. Chris was man enough to apologize to Jessenia before the show even aired. Brendan didn't even think to because he probably didn't care he had hurt someone and probably didn't anticipate as much being aired. Good point. And the death threats need to stop. I truly can't believe that things like this even need to be said. What a sad world we live in. This is a solid apology. Now, listen, I'm not saying don't take death threats real. I just think social media death threats, like I've always said, are different than some unhinged person sending you mail or showing up to your workplace or this or that. It's people online are ridiculous. I don't fight with strangers. I don't value them as humans on the internet. I don't value that as a human connection. If I'm on the bank talking to a bank teller or buying a fruit from the fruit stand, that's a human interaction. If Joe Blow tells me they don't like something about me, I'm like, who the hell are you? You wouldn't say that to my face. And why do I know that? Because in 10 years of stand-up comedy, that has never happened, and it won't happen because humans don't act that way. But when we are keyboard warriors, we sure know how to sharpen up the sword. All right, so let's go to a few of the comments. This is Alana on Bachelor Happy Hour talking with Becca. And I think Becca does most, if not all of the talking here. We'll get more clips in the coming days, but they don't have any video out yet. So let's just play this clip. Becca explaining why there was a heightened sense of anger on the beach.
There was just so much happening on that beach. I think tensions were already so high with people assuming you and Chris maybe were in a relationship or had some sort of pact before Paradise. The same with Brendan and Piper. Like, there was just a lot of this narrative of people already being in some sort of established relationship that I think, those couple of days, I will say, like the night of that party and the next couple of days after that, things were so.
That's all we got. All right. So it makes sense. It makes sense. They're living on a beach without social media, phones, access to other things. So one event very quickly will carry on to another. One wildfire will jump to another event. You know what we did? Let's go back to Chris, and I'm going to show some of the comments he's getting. Catching up on last night's Bachelor in Paradise, I'm shocked. Chris is the sweetest guy I've ever met and didn't deserve any of that. Everyone else there acted like children. I lost all respect for Joe and Riley. Chris is one of the most, and this is from Chasen, fellow smoke bro. Chris is one of the most genuine, kind, and caring guys I've ever met, and I'm lucky to have him as a friend. So it goes on and on. Multiple people. Chris is great. Character witnesses as to why Chris is great. You can go through each one of them. Chris holding a kid. Just one thing after, you'd think the guy died here. People just, supporting him left and right. Also, he's the best there ever was, and I'm ready to fight everyone for coming for him, and I'm going to personally sue ABC. Please do it. Once a Chris fan, always a Chris fan. Release the tapes. People are mean, but we're always hashtag Team Chris. We love you, Uncle Chris. So there Chris is, riding it's a new bird scooter, I guess, where you get to store your luggage in it. All right. It's one thing after another. Let's see if there's any from any other. So Alana is getting some posts, backing up my friend forever. So people are upset. People really feel like they didn't get the version of Chris. I think, and again, not to say that like Brendan doesn't have supporters in his scenario, but Brendan was way more egregious, whereas Chris did something wrong, but it was the backlash of what he did wrong that people are like, ooh, too much. Hey, Chris, I think you definitely could have handled the situation better, but I don't think you should have been kicked off the beach like that. You're still a 6 out of 10 guy, and have my address if you need it. That's from Noah. Hey, we'll take it, Team Chris. All right, so we understand. We get what's going on here. Lots of people, Team Chris. And, hey, Chris is sharing it all. Some people go into hiding after something like this happens, and I think this is the way to do it. Just talk things out, share, your testimonials, and it's like, I feel like Chris, when you're backed up against a wall like this, like you don't feel like you want to have to do this, but this is just kind of what you're resorted to be like, all right, look, and again, he's not going to lose many followers. I don't think he's lost any followers, to be honest. 14,000. I don't think, we'll have to take a look at that, but he didn't have many to begin with. Unlike Brendan, which of course he had way more of a cliff to fall off of course. So here's Alana Benavides. By the way, is Alaya Benavides coming back? Did I miss part of that episode? Did she just not make the cut entirely? Really hoping we'd see more of her. Hopefully she's going to be back on the show. I don't know if she made the cut or not. So let's see here. We've got the post from the Funny Batch. Love this post. End of the day, people can be cruel and life can be unkind, but the truth always comes out. The truth is the level of cruelty to you both was an absolute shame, and you're both beautiful people with a ton of people that love and support you. One day I will hug you both. Until then, I'm thankful that I was able to be a warm hug during this time. I'm glad I wasn't the only one. All right, so clearly they're getting the love. Justice for Chris and Alana.
She's directly involved in this drama, and they won't even
let's
let her
go back.
speak.
Let's go back to hear what Blake had to say.
This is ridiculous. Now they won't even let Elena talk. She's directly involved in this drama, and they won't even let her speak.
Now Blake's got a point. I just, with these types of conversations, I'm not saying they shouldn't have told Alana to be quiet, but surgically, you want to talk to one person and then the other. And let's hope that they did talk to Alana. We didn't see that. But let's hope that the fair thing to do would be that they talk to Chris and then Alana. But of course, this is the edit that was shown. So how are we to judge what actually went down other than them saying, not you now? And of course, the tone of which they did that was probably like, you ever in an argument with someone and they just start yelling at someone else, like, Mom, no, shut up. I'm talking to, what I mean? I'm talking to the internet company, So they're talking to Chris Conran and Alana's like, hey, do you mind if I, no. Quiet. And whoa, okay, all right. So not exactly a good look for them.
What a joke. This is so ridiculous right now.
But how about Blake Horstman? He's the only winner in this season, right?
This is so ridiculous.
All right. There's Alana. All right. You are the sweetest human on planet Earth, blah, blah, blah. Dr. Love, we love you. Okay, so one after another. Stop sending my friend hate. That's rude. Okay, do we get the point? We got the point. And then here she is responding to Chris Conran's post. Chris deserves an apology as well. Thank you for standing up for me. My question is, Alana, are you and Chris together or what? Are you guys spiking the coconut back there in San Diego? Are you guys hanging out and lancing each other's bass, caressing each other's Burgess? Are you over there slinging Spade or bumping Harrison's? Let us know. Do me a favor, guys. Leave a comment. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Get out there and let's add a little more kindness and grace to this conversation because it's getting ugly out there, folks. It's a day of reckoning. Monday was the Monday Massacre. We had the great unfollowing. Natasha Parker passes Brendan and Piper in combined. She has more Instagram followers than Brendan and Piper combined. And of course, the Chris and Alana situation, they never got their sails up and couldn't sail their ship at all. Chris could have handled himself differently, absolutely. Would have been nice if they stuck around. Would have been nice if these conversations happened on the beach and they stuck around and we got a little bit of vindication or some comeuppance from them, but that's not going to happen. Not on this season, at least. Let me know what you guys think. More content coming your way. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.